Hey, it's Stephanie reporting for Awakened Business Duty. I have been thinking and noticing something that's happening of late. I'm in a whole new era in my life, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So let me tell you about it. The old way I would do things is I have a goal. I have a formula, I have a recipe. I'm going to follow these steps exactly to get the results that I want. And I'm going to go for it like a freaking pit bull. And I'm going to make it happen. And that worked for a really long time. I was really good at that. But now in my life, things don't really feel like they want to happen that way anymore. And I know that might seem like a weird concept, but for whatever reason, it just isn't working for me the same. Now this new way is all about using my intuition, being in the moment, and responding to what happens in a very natural and organic way that's in alignment with that. This is totally different for me. It's very uncomfortable. In particular, in relation to the conversations I'm having, because it's like, I discussed this with my coach once. It's like getting into the ocean. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know where you're going to end up because it's powerful. It's like that, the power of that unconscious, right? You could end up getting sucked down and tossed up on the shore. You could end up floating blissfully. You don't know where you're going to go, and you just have to trust that it's going to be okay. And that's what life is asking of me right now. And it kind of bugs me out because I like thinking that I can control things. I like thinking that I can make what I want happen. But what I keep getting is this: wait, listen, let inspiration guide you, let yourself be pulled, create the intention and wait for the invitation. And this is really frustrating sometimes. And it's even happening with my coaching clients that I will try the old way. I learn a technique or a strategy. Like, for example, I learned this NLP technique and I said, okay, I'm going to try this out. And so I go to follow the technique, and the person I'm working with doesn't behave the way I think they're supposed to behave. And so I was forced to use my intuition and do what I felt like wanted to happen, which worked perfectly. But I had to laugh at it because the old way of doing it by somebody else's rules just doesn't cut it anymore. So I have this vow. It's like a prayer that I've been saying a lot lately, and it goes like this. And this is to remind me, this is my prayer for this time of waiting for inspiration. I will not move until you set me on the path. I will not speak until you place the words on my tongue. I will not dream until you breathe the vision into my mind. Everything that is mine comes to me. That's it. That's my vow. That's my prayer. That's my trust. And this morning I had a really big, I call them duh moments, not aha moments, because it made way too much sense. And I recognized finally that the thing that I need to do, I was listening to this podcast, and it was a podcast about relationships and talking about how in relationships we forget to bring our best selves to our partner. And that hit me because I realized that had been true for me. And I said, that's what I need to do. I need to bring my best self to my partner, to my friends, to my clients. What does that look like? And all of a sudden I recognize what I need to do, and it's not really doing anything, it's being something, being my best self. I just need to be my best self. What would that look like in this situation? And in that moment, I felt like this weight was lifted, and that was the universe telling me, that's what you need to do. Be your best self. Bring your best self. So that's my question for you. What would your life look like, especially your relationships? Think of one in particular that's maybe a little strained. How could you bring your best self to that relationship? What might it look like? Do it. And then tell me about it. I want to know.